Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's me, Maureen from Massachusetts, and it's another few days have passed, so it's time to do another video, right? That's what I want to do. And we're going to talk about different things. I'm going to showcase a couple different things and just make it fun, right? I'm here in my dining room this evening. I like to do my taping from this room. It gives me good energy, And it's evening, so it's not like I can be outside. And it's been cloudy, so the last couple of days I haven't been able to really use the bottle area, but I will. I'll get back out there and we'll do some more videos from that area for sure. So, I hope you have all had a good week. I hope that things are going well in your lives and that the universe is providing. I hope that, you haven't had to endure any real hard challenges. And if you have, may the good Lord be with you. And, just, try to stay positive throughout. I know how difficult it is. It must be horrendous, I'll be thinking of you. I sure will. Anyway, I have my tea. I just made it hot still. In one of my nice, that is hot. My nice cups that I got from a potter who used to have a business down the street. Wow, this is really hot. I'm gonna let it cool. But I made elderberries echinacea. Sounds good. I like anything elderberry. Good. Very good. So, as you all know, I've been trying for the past couple months, 3 months maybe, over the winter and spring, maybe more than 3 or 4 months, following different people on YouTube in how to make a good sourdough starter and sourdough bread. I have followed a couple people, like I said, and I'm not knocking their methods by any means. It's just a couple of them did okay, but the bread was still dense and like a hockey puck. I used it anyway. I used it for croutons on salad, and I wasn't going to give up on it. But really, my hopes were to make a nice, fluffier, lighter loaf of bread, not so dense, and one that you could cut into nicely with a good, serrated knife and that, just a good loaf of sourdough bread. Well, I finally ended up watching another YouTuber who suggested getting some dehydrated starter, and then you add your flour and water to it once you get the little packet in the mail. And I did that from the Urban Ladybug. And for the first loaf I made, I goofed. It was my fault. There's a step that I overlooked. So I went back and watched this other video from the girl Whispering Willow, Jill, and her husband, Whispering Willow, the YouTube video where she showcases how she made her loaf of sourdough bread that came out beautiful and spongy. Okay, well, I watched that video again and again, and I got it. I did it. Now, I'm just going to show you the tail end of my loaf because we've been eating it. But this is the pot that I got a couple months ago, and I love it. And this is what I baked it in. This is, man, still needs scrubbing because all right, now here's a piece that I toasted earlier just to show you. Now see how the holes and, like bubble holes? You want that. You want those nice, airy, and this is so good. And then it just came out so good. I'm so thrilled. It's like, yay! Now I know how to make sourdough bread, right? I'm talking a little softer because, again, it's evening and my husband has already gone up to bed. He's doing better, but, since the fall, he's not 100% himself. Yeah. Anyway, but look at this. That's how you want it. This is the tail end of it. This was a nice loaf. We've been eating it. Tonight we had Westerns. I made like an omelet with eggs and Eastern or Western, I forget which one. We put ham and red peppers and onions in it and had it on the bread. It was so good. It was very good. Okay, so yay me. I can say I know how to do it and I remember now the steps and I like that the YouTube videos are there to go back and reference. I tell you people, us YouTubers, you can learn a lot if you allow yourself. You really can. That's how I'm learning things. So anyway, I'm happy about that. I like my little pot. Now, I had my little one the other day. She's 9, and she's a creative one. We're born in the same month. We're Aquarians, and we're creative, and she loves the arts just like I do, and bright colors and jewelry and glistening things, and she loves to paint and make things with her hands. That's me all over again, right? Well, she's 9 years old, and look what she made out of clay the other day, all by herself. Nobody showing her what to do. She just sat and did it. I am loving this thing. Look how pretty. She did the leaves. I'm telling you, I'm letting it still dry. That's to air dry. Is that not lovely? 9 years old. So impressed. And her artwork, she's got it all going on, trust me. I'm so proud of her. So this is something that's a real strong keepsake for me. I just love this. And, I'll have it. So and she put it on that little bird, so that's where it's staying. I love that. Okay, now, the other day, the last clip, I highlighted a little bit of a thrift haul my most recent thrift haul, and I didn't get too much because I am cutting back, but I did get this chair that I believe I showed you in that clip, and I'm going to show it to you again because I was so thrilled. I went to Brattleboro yesterday because I had the little one overnight for a couple of days, and I had to bring her back to meet up with her father in Brattleboro, so over the border in Vermont. So they have a thrift store there that I love to go to, and again, it's more like a donated, like a Salvation Army type store. And I got out of my car. I only had it like a half an hour, and I knew it. Put money in the meter, but I looked over. It wasn't there. It had moved. And luckily, I'm like, oh my goodness. And I thought, well, I guess I'm not going to get to go there today. Well, then somebody walking by says, you looking for the thrift store? I said, yes. He said, it moved. It's right over there, it's in the same block, but actually in a better section, more near some dentist's office, but down the end. Let me tell you, I went over there, and not far from the original place, and I'm telling you, somebody has done that. Beautiful store is done up, high-end thrift store, if I say so myself. Everything looked so nice, and somebody is really doing a great job picking out, nice pieces of clothing that you would look for, people would buy. Nice, nice. Let me show you what I got. And then I'm going to show you the chair. And then I'm going to show you these pieces of fabric, upholstery fabric. I couldn't believe it. There was a whole bin. And I was going to head to Hadley to like Joann's Fabrics, where I love their fabrics, but I'm going to spend more there, right? I couldn't believe it. And I'm all set. I'm all set to do this chair over when I'm ready. So I will show you. Hold on just a second. Okay. Get up. I'll just show you one quick other thing. Now, I don't need clothes. I tell you that all the time. I tell myself that all the time because it's true. I don't. However, when you see something that's talking to you and it says, I want to be on you, Maureen. Well, this was talking to me. Look at it. It's silk. 100% silk and tailor. It looks new. My size. Love the little collar. I can picture those beautiful earrings I love that I made. And it even inspires me to make more earrings. Now, granted, it says dry clean, but I believe I can just gently hand wash and let it air dry. But it's got nice little buttons on it. This is pretty, folks. Classy. I love it. This summer when you want to just wear something nice and look pretty. All day long, folks. And it was $8 silk. I figured that was worth it. It's a nice brand. I like how it's cut too, and it's got the darts. Yeah, I like that. I can't wait to put it on. So I got that. Now, take a sip of my tea here, clear my throat. Delicious. It's cooled off a bit. It's perfect right now. Very nice. I like to have my tea with you. Okay. See this, folks? Isn't that beautiful? Remember from the other day I showed you that beautiful chair? Okay, well, guess what? I bought into that program called Chair Whimsy, which is another different courses, and the girl, she's on YouTube, and she's also has her chairs on different sites, I guess Etsy and that, but she does beautiful work, and I bought into her course months back, and you can always go back and, catch up and rewatch the episodes for the course. So I did that the other day, and I'm all excited. But I got to get my barn going first. That's my priority, and I've got to start that this weekend. All these things we've been making, we've got to get them set up in there. So that's the next thing. So got the pool going, got our gardens going. Now I've got to get the barn going, and I will. And so with that, once the barn's all set, this is my next project, this chair. And, getting the electric stapler going and all the tools I needed, mallet and the tool that you use. It's like a screwdriver, but it's got gotta get all those things together and work on that. I'm so excited. But anyway, I found this piece, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use this piece or not, but I like it. And there's another chair too that I have in the barn, so I have 2 chairs I'll be doing. So I could use this on either or. Now this almost looks like it's like running threads, like embroidery almost, like strands of embroidery, the way they're kind of, I don't know if you see it, can move them. Yeah, they're pretty. And this, oh, wait a minute. Is it supposed to be this way? No. Wow. I suppose you could do either or. It almost looks like it's this way too, but no. This is what caught my eye, this side. Oh yeah, some of it. This is really pretty, folks. But you'd have to be careful using it, but I really like it. And if I don't use it for the chairs, it would make great pillows too. But anyway, it's a good size piece. It was $3. Do you know what a piece like this would cost? It would cost at least $12 a yard or more in a fabric textile store. I know it would. So I really did. And there's enough here to cover a chair. And don't forget you're going to do the back too. But what I like about the chair Whimsy is that she kind of urges and encourages and teaches to think about getting bold with colors and fabrics and mixing things up, and I love that. And painting the frame in bright colors. You could do blues and greens, pinks, oranges, golds. I'm thinking of the pretty gold, I can see a gold or a champagne color on that. But look at this other stuff. I'm really thinking that I might look at this one. I'm so thrilled. Oh, there was one more fabric too, wasn't there? Oh, yeah, okay. Just fell on the ground. Look at this, folks. Is that not pretty? Oh. If you look up the chair Whimsy and look at her chairs, you'll get a better idea of why I'm loving this fabric, because this is exactly the stuff like she uses. This is an original screen print designed by Rich Loom Fabrics, copyright. Rich Loom, okay. Look at that. And I got a good enough piece of this too. I mean, I've got a couple of yards here. Is that not pretty? Look at the colors in them. Love it. And what you do is, like right with this splashy color, and that's what she says, get a feel for, look at that one, right there, yeah. Get a feel for, what it is you want. Yeah, I have an idea for all of this. I'll bring it over. Just a moment here. See, like you could think about, that right there, or this flower right there. You could move it around and get, the flower like right where you want it. Oh, just pretty. Yeah. Or the other way, yeah. But look at that, folks. Now, what I also like, I'll show you. It fell on the floor. Hold on. This color is cool. This is more, feels like a leather or, whatever they call it. But anyway, it's upholstery. Look at the pretty color. And look how nice. These were all in a bin, so they were all cut and something was made from them. Look at that. Ooh. See how nice that goes? Beautiful. Yep. So I know that these all went together, and I'm loving it. I could not have been happier. Now, this was, okay, that first piece was $3. This one, $6, the floral, that piece, but I've got over 2 yards there. $6. $6. And this nice piece, there's quite a bit here, a good yard and a half at least. And then I'm thinking this would be pretty on the bottom. Look at that. Just love that. Such a pretty color to go with that fabric. Yeah. And these are the colors I was thinking of. Anyway, $4. $4. So 6 for 10. And what did I say? 3? I spent $13 on this fabric. And $3.99 for the chair. $4 for the chair. And $13 for the I spent $17. And then my labor and tools that we have around here. And I'm going to do that over beautiful. And I'm going to either keep it or resell it. And I'm going to make some good money, folks. You watch. I'm so excited. Yeah. And this just came by chance, too, because I had bought into the Chair Whimsy course, but I had kind of, again, with all the stuff I have going on, kind of put that on the back burner as well, because, I know that I have a lot going on. I do. And, of course, Eddie, not feeling good. He's my first priority, Make sure he's fed and cared for and everything. So my time is a little more tight and limited, but when things kind of cool down, we can get the barn open, then I do want to do this. That'll be good. Yeah, it'll be wicked pretty. I just love it. Just love it. Yep, I was so happy. So happy about that. And for the cost, I'm going back there too. There's a big bin of this stuff, but I don't need any right now. I've got to work with what I got, and I know that. And I will, but won't that not be beautiful on there? Now, granted, this has got the buttons, I'm not doing it that way. That it will not have buttons anymore. I'm not doing it that way. I'm just covering it with a good taut cover and the cushions and the foam. And yeah, I won't be putting those buttons there. No, it'll have a little bit of a different style. Again, go on the Chair Whimsy site. Excuse me. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that, folks. Get this back together here. And, sorry. Shouldn't have happened here. yeah, go on the Chair Whimsy site so you'll kind of get a feel for what I'm talking about. Okay. Here we go. Sorry about that, folks. I'll have to edit that. Okay, now, people, books. As you know, I'm a self-published author. But if you see me frown a little bit in that regard, it's because I don't feel good about the whole experience thus far. I want to, and I want to stay upbeat and positive, and I know I need to push the books a little more. I don't want to be, I guess I don't make a really good salesman, but maybe I don't know. I'm just, when it comes to these people, they've been calling me still, left and right, 9:30 in the morning, 9:30 at night, supper time without fail. You tell them, please don't call right now, we're having our dinner, the meal is hot. They're relentless, they keep calling anyway. And I doubt very much if they're calling from this country. They don't sound like they are. Let's put it that way. I'm sure English is not their first language. And it's awful. And I'm telling you, if they speak so poorly, I've been hanging up. And that's not me, folks, to be rude, but they leave you with no choice. And all the companies that have called, they are on Victoria's list of not so positive companies to work with. So why would I even bother, right? Hang up. I've been hanging up on them. Excuse me, time for a little more tea. It's really good. So, with all of that, folks, I am going to try to incorporate a little bit of talking about my books and trying to stay positive. And with your help, maybe I can do that because I've had negative experiences thus far, and it's really unfortunate. But I'm trying to be smarter, be better, and just not go down that route anymore. In front of me, there's one more. I couldn't quite find where it is. I think it's, but anyway, here's 3 of my books. This was the first one. And there's one after that, Discovering Lock, Trinket, and a Roundhouse of Bees. I will get it. It's green. I'll be over there. And then this was my 3rd book. And this is the most recent, my 4th book. And they're all adorable books, are they not? On the market. Do you think I can get them into bookstores? And it's not because they're poorly written. They're not. They're adorable books. It's just the marketing. Everybody wants the almighty dollar. Well, I've given up enough of the almighty dollar. I really have. Not happening. I don't have it anyway. Anyway. What I wanted to do, if I may, is, okay, I'm going to read my book. I'm going to read it the way I wrote it. And if anyone's out there watching and listening, thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope you enjoyed it, you know? And this is how I'm going to try to promote my book, because all these companies that are actually really calling from the Philippines or Nigeria or somewhere like that are all telling me that I need better marketing or a better audience or this or that. You know what? I'm going to do my best. So if I may, I'm going to read my book. right now. The fourth book, hashtag Leaves QWERTYville by Maureen Sky. Now, what is QWERTYville? What is QWERTY? QWERTY is your typewriter, keyboard, QWERTY, the letters on the keyboard, QWERTY. That's what inspired me to throw a little humor into it and take the characters and build the keys and build characters and create a little tale. And that's what I did. Okay. It's about 24 pages, mostly text, and about 3 or 4 colorful illustrations to help tell the story. And they're nicely done. Where are they? Well, it looks like this one, huh? Oh, here they are. Okay. Yeah, there's not too many, that's why. That's hashtag. And that's the keyboard. This is hashtag and his friend, family and friends. That's when the freeze zone plan takes place. I'll explain that to you. I presented my illustrations to the company. These are my thoughts. These are not the company's thoughts. These are my ideas, my creations. But somebody within their company took my watercolors and just made them better. Okay? But the ideas are all mine, all unique to me. Okay? Not somebody else's idea, mine. Okay? Okay. This book is good for the middle grade kid, maybe ages, a good reader, 9, 10-ish to 13, 14, and adults may get a kick out of it as well. Okay? Middle grade. Introduction. Hashtag Leaves QWERTYville by Maureen Sky. Typing and learning the keyboard was the first skill I learned as a young teen, and it is also the one skill that I was able to master as I navigated through the world of work as a clerical secretary for more than 20 years for a local high school. I can remember my typing teacher having us tape a piece of paper over the keyboard. She would also put on music and have us type to the rhythm as our nervous fingers struck the home keys, ASDF space JKL semi. The hashtag was asleep in the 60s and early 70s, barely used. Times were changing, for sure, when it came to music, hairstyles, fashion, and home decor, but not much when it came to technology. Nothing can compare to the technology we have today with computers, cell phones, iPads, Kindle readers, Alexa, etc. These are exciting times for the high-tech world. We all need to take a moment and reflect on how far we've come with technology. Who knew such words as Twitter and tweet, iPad, hashtag, and Alexa would become daily household words? Hashtag is asleep no more. I had so much fun writing this fun and quirky story for readers everywhere to enjoy. The trendy hashtag appears everywhere and is used so much in how we communicate in today's world. So why not write about it? I have no problem with humor, and the creative content just somehow shows up. And that is what I love about being a writer/author. I hope my readers enjoy reading this book as much as I did in writing it. There's humor in many things. You just need to know where to look. I want to thank typing teachers everywhere, young and old. For me, learning to type, especially learning to type without looking at the keys, was vital to what I did for more than 20 years in the workplace, and is also what I now choose to do each and every day. To teach our youth the proper way in which to type and use the keyboard is key to just about everything they will need to know for the rest of their lives. Your work will never go unnoticed. I also want to thank my husband, Eddie, as he has had to put up with my desires to want to write and illustrate, and at times our thoughts can be very different when it comes to my writing and the work I do as a marketing author. Thank you, Eddie. Your patience in this regard means the world to me. Okay, hashtag today. Hashtag, you have really come a long way. Who knew you would be a huge part of how we communicate throughout our day? Somewhere between the keys of a vintage Olympia typewriter from the 60s and a Toshiba PC keyboard of the present day, you found your way. Yes, hashtag, it is true. We are constantly using you as we strike the keys of our computers, iPads, and smartphones. We've even mastered texting using only one hand, while the other is hanging tight to our favored ice cream cone. Our children do not know of landline phones in their homes. Heck, our cell phones are even with us while using the Daily Throne. Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and the World Wide Web. Good grief, we even take it to bed. Dare there be another Cordyville key that compares, save for us to share, so we can rise to the newbie tech status of the keyboard. Now the year 2022, and there are many more years of books to read and write, with many more words to share. Hashtag, will you still be there? I like to start out with a poem kind of thing, or something that rhymes with each book that I write. You'll see that. Okay, so now let's start. Hashtag leaves Cordyville. Hashtag keys has only known one life. One life of white painted symbols on finger-sized black plastic square keys accompanied by 100 like keys of 26 letters of the alphabet, along with 73 more keys made up of symbols and commands that are otherwise known to hashtag as Cordyville. Hashtag resides on line 2 or row 2, whichever you prefer, fourth key in from the left within Cordyville. Hashtag is a typical key as he is usual in shape and size within his category of symbols and numbers of Cordyville. Adorning the front of him is a symbol hashtag, along with the number 3. Hashtag, comfortable with his size and shape, really likes how he looks and is very much interested in becoming famous like those big movie stars you see in Hollywood. Working hard to stay in shape, hashtag is hopeful that he will be forever recognized, always wanting to be in the forefront within documents and any printed material. His desire is to get picked up as the next important key to strike the page or used in trending social media, loving it when he gets to appear in important messages and such, as this really strokes his ego. Hashtag's name and symbol have been used many times, billions of times in fact, due to the rise of technology, computers, iPads, cell phones, and let's not forget the ever-changing internet, also known as the World Wide Web. Without much effort on his part, hashtag has really become very popular and trendy, primarily due to everyone using the method of texting these days with their cell phones and smartphones. Hashtag siblings, his brother, at, and the number 2, and his sister, dollar, the dollar sign, and number 4, are very supportive of him and all that he aspires to do, especially now with his more recent activity and popularity as the hashtag symbol seems to appear just about anywhere you find text and text messaging these days. Hashtag whoever dreams of being a famous Hollywood star, appearing in movies upon the big screen, and wanting very much to show to the world and the other keys of Cordyville that he is worthy of accomplishing his goals on his own and not just to be known because of his use of popularity within the internet and the World Wide Web. Hashtag's parents, exclamation point, his father, and asterisk, number 8, his mother, are both very proud of him and happy for him with his recent surge of activity and popularity. However, they often worry about his emotional well-being and overall happiness as they know their son and that hashtag likes to do things on his own. Percent and the number 5 is hashtag's best friend and has been for many years. He resides only 2 black keys away from hashtag in Cordyville. Percent enjoys hanging out with hashtag and learning of all his activity and recent popularity with text and texting on the internet and the World Wide Web. All of the keys within Cordyville are very happy and proud of hashtag, but they worry too that he will get overused and wind up sick and exhausted in a short span of time. And dollar are very popular Cordyville keys as well, getting used a lot within documents, messages, and text, thus making line 2 in Cordyville a very busy and necessary row of black keys that appear within the familiar keyboard used by human hands. As twits and tweets are the craze these days, hashtag finds himself adorning computers, cell phones, smartphone screens 24/7 all over the world. Hashtag truly has not had a moment of peace, or should we say escape, ESK, the escape key, ever since those trendy and familiar websites that we all know of got created and are now a huge part of our daily lives in 2022. Hashtag communicates his frustration to Percent and expresses how he would like to break the trend and somehow get off line 2, row 2, key 4 of Cordyville. Perhaps he could reside closer to the space bar or the enter key or something of that sort. Maybe then his black key would not feel quite so sore and beat up all the time. Although hashtag does continue to work hard at being strong and ever present in Cordyville, hashtag is even thinking he will pitch an idea to the makers and designers of fancy keyboards of today's best computers, cell phones, and smartphones. An idea about possibly creating a more rounded key that would feel good while being used by human hands. Perhaps more like the shape of our mouse that we use to navigate the cursor in our computer, but obviously would need to be much smaller. Perhaps a key that could flow smoother and appear more easily accessible within the keyboard of Cordyville. Chapter 2, the Freeze Zone Plan. Hashtag aspire. I just got a message, I'm sorry. Aspires to becoming. I'm sorry, I got a message. I'm going to pause this for just a moment. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I apologize. I got a message about tomorrow morning. I had to answer that. Okay. So, back to the free zone plan. Okay. Hashtag aspires to becoming famous, hoping to appear in messages and texts within the Hollywood film industry. Hashtag wants to be able to dance and sing to showcase his talents. He needs to be free to maneuver around the keyboard, not to be so confined to line 2, row 2, key 4 of Cordyville. To do this, he will need to come up with a fantastic plan. That's it. Hashtag has decided he will need to leave Cordyville in order to appear upon the big screens of Hollywood. After spending many days in deep thought, Hashtag decided he would need to freeze up any access to him for a span of time. Hashtag truly believes that if he can freeze up his key and space in Cordyville, this may give him enough time to hang in cyberspace for a bit, allowing him to connect with the right signal that will then whisk his way into text coming out of Hollywood. A difficult task indeed, but Hashtag is up for the challenge. Also knowing full well that he can always rely on Alexa for a bit of smart and practical advice as well. Hashtag asks percent, at, and dollar to help him with his fantastic plan. Anxious and with a few questions and a bit of worry, they all discuss Hashtag's seemingly quirky plan. Once all the fine details were hashed out, they all agreed to help Hashtag leave Cordyville with the high hopes of him becoming famous in Hollywood. They all decided to give this plan a name. They are calling it Freeze Zone. The Freeze Zone plan will go like this. Keys, at, and dollar will try their best at pushing their black keys out of their line to a row just a bit, thus making it much more difficult for human hands to navigate the normal typing over the keys, because the keys will then be sitting a bit higher on line 2, row 2 within Cordyville. In the meantime, percent, number 5, will attempt to make his key a bit rocky and loose as well in the keyboard. Hashtag hopes that the remaining keys of Cordyville understand that he is not ungrateful for his unforeseen recent popularity. He just wants so much to be able to reach that certain level of success on his own and not feel as though the success owns or controls him. Hashtag feels enough with the twits and tweets already, as he aspires to appear upon the big screen of Hollywood instead. It is now early morning on a typical Saturday, cartoon day in America, and Hashtag, along with his siblings and best friends, execute the Freeze Zone plan. Percent starts rocking his square finger-sized black plastic key adorned with number 5, back and forth, allowing it to loosen from where he resides on line 2, row 2, 6 key in from the left in Cordyville. Keys at and dollar then squeeze themselves together tightly in hopes of making their keys pop up higher from where they reside on line row 2, keys 3 and 5 from the left in Cordyville. In the meantime, Hashtag has been silently meditating, attempting to freeze his mind and thoughts to a higher level, which he hopes will allow him to go into a freeze key type status on line 2, row 2, key 4 from the left, and also adorned with the number 3 in Cordyville. The idea of meditating and freezing his mind was the advice that Alexa offered to him when he asked her for advice earlier. She told him that the process of meditating can prove to be a very powerful tool in many ways and good for anyone wanting to learn about calm and mindfulness. After several minutes of silent meditation, the free zone plan came to life. It worked. Hashtag key is now frozen and will remain frozen until he can catch the attention of famous film producers and the important people who make things happen in Hollywood. One's looking for new material. His plan to navigate within cyberspace in order to grab the attention of all the film companies starting within the Los Angeles, California area. Hashtag will linger there until he gets the proper attention and recognition he feels he deserves. Would this be what they call hacking? Being very well respected thus far, Hashtag would never want to jeopardize the reputation and status within the keyboard accordion. Time will tell in that regard. It is now a week later, and Hashtag is still frozen in cyberspace. The other keys involved with the plan are also still in the same loose and raised positions. Tired, anxious to be done with the plan, they ask Hashtag if the plan will be over soon, as they are eager to get back to their typical lives within the full keyboard and all online line 2, row 2 within QWERTYville. Also, there's one key in QWERTYville that is not too happy with all this free zone status taking place, and that is Delete. Delete is the mayor of QWERTYville, an old soul in how he thinks and goes about his life in QWERTYville. He resides on the top row, last key to the right, and does not like to have anything out of place. His famous quote is, "If things go awry, just delete it." He has been around for a very long time and has deleted many words and documents over the years. He is not about to stop anytime soon. Hashtag had to plead long and hard in order for Delete to agree to let him and the others execute their plan. Guess Hashtag told him that he could watch any movie that Hashtag appears in for free if he becomes famous in Hollywood. Once Hashtag told him this, Delete immediately told him to put it into words on a fresh page document, and then they used DocuSign procedures to have Hashtag sign his virtual signature on the appropriate line. Delete then communicated to his best friend, Print Screen, top row, second key in from the right in QWERTYville, to print it up and then save it to a desktop file. Print Screen did not hesitate to help Delete, as he is another key that has been around for years. He adores Delete and would do anything to please the mayor of QWERTYville, as would the others. Wait. Oh my. All of a sudden, Hashtag flies back out of cyberspace and unfreezes his finger-sized square black key adorned with the number 3 on line 2, row 2, QWERTYville. Wow, the other keys cannot believe what is happening at the keyboard at this time. And dollar keys neatly and quietly fall back into their proper position. Percent finds that his key has tightened back up nicely and is resting just as it should on line 2, row 2, 6 key in from the left within QWERTYville. This is all so amazing. This must mean that Hashtag's free zone plan was successful and that he has been recognized, possibly working out a deal to appear up on the big screen within one of those numerous companies of the Hollywood film industry. How exciting! Even more exciting, all of a sudden, all the keys within the keyboard of QWERTYville are moving about, up and down on their own, just like those vintage player pianos from the early 1900s used to do. What the caps lock is going on? All the websites upon the World Wide Web are bursting with messages. Cell phones are ringing all over the entire world. Hashtag appears back on text messages, announcing his new fame and that he has just signed a contract with one of the biggest companies in Hollywood. Excited and extremely proud, Hashtag realizes his plan worked very successfully and with no mention of hacking, although he did have some real anxiety about that for a period of time while frozen in cyberspace. Hashtag's parents, exclamation and asterisk, are so very proud of him and all his recent accomplishments. They have planned a big event to be held in Cordyville in his honor, where the mayor, Delete, will be presenting Hashtag with a special award for his recent accomplishments and becoming famous in Hollywood. This event is scheduled to be held at the Control Alt Delete Center once Hashtag returns home. At the end of page up and page down, an open space bar will be available for all to enjoy. After the ceremony in his honor, Hashtag will delete himself from Cordyville forever and will then shift himself up onto the print screen and enter the world of Hollywood. Now, I have to just stop for a moment and tell you people that initially the book ended right there. But then I got thinking it needed a little more. So that's when I came up with the chapter 3, Homesick, before we published it in that. So I'm kind of proud of this chapter too. And this is where the child, the student, the reader will learn, I believe, some how to deal with some certain emotions. You know, as humans, we go through different phases and stages, and this is, I believe, a helpful tool. At least, I think it is. So I will continue on. Chapter 3, Homesick. And the little blurb there, Cloud says, Hashtag, you have 5 minutes to air. He's in it. This is his dressing room in Hollywood, in his trailer. Hashtag 3 has been working with a company from Los Angeles, California for about 6 months now, and he absolutely loves it. His day unfolds bright and early in the morning from his dressing room, located at the far back section of the huge motorhome that is owned by the company Daramount, a newly formed film company that aspires to being the top runner in the film industry in the very near future. They are working on an upcoming documentary film in regard to the history of the first typewriter ever made and how we use and decipher the various keys today to communicate using our latest equipment and technology available to us on the market. The motorhome is a bright, shiny red on the outside shell of the big hunk of metal that has become home to Hashtag these days. The inside is done up in gray leather seats and black thick carpeting that has a printed design within the pattern of the carpet. A huge flat screen TV sits high upon one wall, while the adjacent wall showcases several windows adorned with trendy fabric drapery that complements the colors of the leather seats and carpeting. Hashtag is excited with his new life and unfolding career and is eager to do his best, as he is fully aware that where he is at today with his fame and fortune may not necessarily be the same for him next year. Things change when you are famous and in the limelight, also, so to speak, and that you can never take any of it for granted. There is always someone or something right around the corner that can take your place in a New York minute. Oh boy, we know that, don't we, folks? Better to stay in the moment and take from it what you need and always show gratitude and respect for being there. Hashtag has already learned a lot, but knows he has a lot more to learn about the film industry, how it operates, and what the demands of being famous are. While enjoying his new life, Hashtag does have his moments where he misses his family and friends, the life that was so familiar to him while on road to Key 4 from the left within Cordyville. Most of all, he misses hanging out with his best friend, Percent. Percent writes to him often, keeping him informed and up to date on the activity within Cordyville, which is not much compared to the new lifestyle of hashtag Keys, the most famous thing happening in Hollywood at the present time. Percent finds that he has been feeling a bit jealous lately, perhaps even a bit depressed, in how he feels about his close friend hashtag Keys. Percent knows he should be forever proud and happy for hashtag, and he is. But what is this strange and ever-present feeling that seems to be growing stronger inside him? Hashtag's fame is something we all dream and hope for our loved ones, right? To prosper and to be recognized, and even better, to be famous in Hollywood. In the meantime, hashtag has been feeling something strange within him too. What the caps lock is happening. Hashtag is living the American dream with being an actor in Hollywood, working for an up-and-coming company that aspires to being number one in the industry. He is seen in many commercials and is always being used with all the latest technology, etc. But still, for him, something is still missing, and yet he cannot bring himself to openly admit his feelings to Percent, or anyone else for that matter. Hashtag is actually a bit embarrassed that he feels this way because he's totally aware that he now lives a privileged life. So what does he have to complain or be depressed about? Hashtag's parents, exclamation and asterisk, communicate with him every few days. They speak often to the other Keys in Cordyville of how proud they are of him, and especially of his most recent accomplishments. After all, not too many Keys within Cordyville get to say that they are famous in Hollywood, save for At and Dollar, who are pretty popular and valuable Keys as to how we as humans navigate our lives these days, given the use of the recent technology, emails, and shopping, etc. Hashtag's family and friends have no clue that he has these hidden emotions and deep personal feelings happening within him, feelings that were never felt while living his typical life on Road 2, Key 4 from the left within Cordyville. It's Friday morning in Hollywood, crisp and clear as the sky above. Hashtag finds himself sitting in his trailer awaiting instruction from his production company as to when he is to go live in front of the cameras and act out his next scene from the latest written script he was given earlier that morning. Not feeling quite himself, his mind is so heavy with emotion and finding it difficult to focus, hashtag sits in front of the large mirror in his dressing room, trying desperately to practice the lines of his written script, knowing that any moment he will be getting the signal that it is his time to get on the set in front of the live cameras and act out his rehearsed scene. Struggling and fighting these emotions, he manages to get the words out. A few minutes pass, hashtag still practicing his lines, when suddenly the bright green light comes on above the large mirror that rests on the wall of his dressing room. This is the signal that he is to get on the set immediately, live, and act out his rehearsed lines within the familiar scenes set up by the production team. But there is a problem. The scene within the script is that of two close friends sitting together in a classroom setting, and they are learning how to use the keys of a typical Olympia typewriter from the 1960s. Hashtags lips start to quiver, tears well up in his eyes, and he can't seem to finish speaking his familiar rehearsed lines to complete the scene. He realizes he has been thinking a lot about his friend Percent and how he would very much enjoy getting together with him real soon, and realizing how valuable childhood friendships are. But hashtag has an important job to do at the present moment. Hashtag Keys, the ever-present and most current within the keyboard and famous all over the world today, his fame and good fortune are at risk. Hashtag wipes away the tears from his eyes, trying desperately to keep his lips from quivering as he again attempts to speak aloud his rehearsed lines. Once again he fails. He then speaks to himself, "Oh, good grief, what is this? Cannot be happening to me right now. My career is at peak, and many people in Keys within Cordyville are depending on me to follow through now and for many years to come. I cannot fail them." Witnessing hashtag struggling, the film director quickly moves in closer to him and speaks, hashtag, what is your problem with this scene? We've all been watching you struggle with your lines today, and this is not like you. Is there something bothering you? Hashtag, trying desperately to keep his emotions intact, answers, gosh, I don't quite totally understand what is going on, but I can't seem to get through the scene without it all getting very personal for me. I guess I'm really missing my home of Cordyville and all my family and friends there, especially my dear friend Percent. The film director then took a moment to remain quiet and digest what hashtag just told him. And then with a soft voice he spoke, well, why don't we invite your friend to come here and be with you on the set? If he's good with it, perhaps he could even be in the scene with you, if that will help you to give us your best work in regard to this particular script. Hashtag, we all must admit to you that we briskly and very selfishly whisked you away from your family and friends in order to quickly get you familiar with Hollywood and its ways in the film industry. We need you to be 100% at your best for this film, and therefore we are allowing you the opportunity to invite your friend Percent to come here and join you on the set. Hashtag cannot believe what he is hearing. This is such a generous gesture being offered to him, and he cannot wait to use his cell phone and make contact with Percent to see if he would be available and agreeable to all this. Meanwhile, in Cordyville, Percent has also been experiencing moments of depression and has been keeping more to himself lately, missing the way it was when he and hashtag would hang out together on line 2 at row 2, keys 4 and 6 on line 2 in Cordyville. Percent is thinking it might be time for him to contact hashtag and tell him how he is feeling. Maybe then they can work something out to see if each other in the future, although he does not know how that can happen, and he has no means of coming up with the ways of, or whatever it would take to actually get to see hashtag, doubting very much that hashtag would be available to come home to Cordyville anytime soon. Percent picks up his cell phone and dials hashtag's number, ASDF space JKL semi. Hashtag still sitting in front of the camera on the film set hears his phone go off, and he can feel the phone vibrating in his shirt pocket. Thinking he should probably avoid the call, usually he would have, his gut is telling him to go ahead and answer it. He reaches into his shirt pocket and grabs the cell phone. Immediately, Percent's number comes up on the screen. OMG. Oh my God. Hashtag is ecstatic. He cannot believe it's his dear friend that he's been so deeply missing. And furthermore, what great timing. Hashtag quickly, with great enthusiasm, explains to Percent what is happening on the set and the perfect opportunity invite proposed to him by his film director for Percent to come and visit him in Hollywood. Percent, having never acted before or been anywhere but Cordyville, accepts without hesitation. Hashtag then assures Percent that they will all do their best to make him feel comfortable and at ease while taking part on the set. He explains, Percent, the people here are amazing, and I am so glad you are coming. You will see what I mean when you get here. Smiling and with a happy heart, hashtag hangs up the phone. Back in the moment, hashtag manages to get himself back to the present and is able to finally speak his lines aloud and finish the scene. Phew! Time to escape and insert a lunch. Grateful to the universe that aligned the circumstances so that he and his best friend came together at the right time and that this wonderful opportunity is at his doorstep at the right moment and for the right reasons. Percent is also smiling and with a happy heart, and he cannot wait to share his news with all the keys in Cordyville. This is all so amazing. Both hashtag and percent are firm believers that thoughts become things, and that this opportunity truly is a testament that the universe provides wonderful opportunities if you just work hard and believe that good things do happen. Percent eagerly shared his joy and excitement with all the keys in Cordyville. All the keys gathered together and with great joy and enthusiasm are planning a great celebration of hashtag and percent once the film is produced and ready for viewing. The mayor of Cordyville, Delete, gets a front row seat. The event will once again be held at the Control Alt Delete Center, where they will be serving fabulous food and refreshments along with an open space bar for all to enjoy. It will be wonderful for hashtag and percent to be together again in familiar Cordyville, enjoying all the festivities. The end. Is that not a lovely story? Quirky, fun, and trendy. Come on. It is. And it needs to be recognized. It needs to be on your bookshelves. It needs to get out there. It needs to be purchased. And it's only $9.99 on Amazon. And you can also go to the Rushmore Press Company out of Nevada and their website, and they have a bookstore. It's available there. It's on SCBWI, Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, for sale there, and it's also on Goodreads. It's in Barnes & Nobles, I believe, and again, Amazon, and it's in the e-reader format as well. Do I not have an imagination, folks? It's there. Think about purchasing this. Your kids will enjoy it. It's a good, fun summer read. And again, what the caps lock is going on, people? I'm going to end this. It's been fun. Think about Kennedy and Her Bank. It's a good toddler read, again, on Amazon and all those places I just mentioned. This is mostly a picture book. Good for the little bedtime read for the little ones. Good for grandmas and parents and babysitters to keep it nearby. It's a beautiful one about Kennedy and Her Bank. Kennedy is my granddaughter's name. This one is all about jewelry fairies that live and thrive out of our jewelry boxes. And again, these are available as well. I'm really wanting to push this book and this book. These are the two I really want to promote at this time. Available, affordable, and quality books. Thank you now, and may the universe provide. See you in a few days. Bye-bye.